Well, I hope that it will encourage more people to come to the park, because this is a fantastic asset that's part of Hebburn, unique, because no other ward on the town or city on the Tyne has got this, and this is a fantastic place. So I hope it's going to encourage more people to come to the park, and also for everybody else who isn't here who can see it from miles around will know where Hebburn is. We wanted something that was really looking to the future in terms of technology, because Hebburn had always been making things looking towards the future. And myself as an artist, I've used quite a lot of renewable energy in pieces, because I like the fact that they're actually independent and they don't rely on any systems. They're not connected to the national grid. So when electricity runs out in the world, this will keep working and Hebburn will still have a bit of light.
Yeah, well, when I was younger, everywhere you went in Hebburn, there was a factory, a shipyard. And the whole place used to be buzzing with factories and whatever you needed. Not a great deal of unemployment. When you try to move out of Hebburn at night times around the 5 o'clock, the roads were always jammed, you know, because this was what the town was, a little town of industry. A couple of shipyards, a big factory at railroads, held 12,000, the bit mastic, which was a big pain concern, tube works, you had Baker Perkins. The amount of industry that was in this little small town always stood out to me, and that's why in my mind it was always just a little town of industry.
When I came to Hebburn, I was certainly surprised, because my introduction to Hebburn was BTEC Railroad, and so I thought that was Hebburn to start with. And then when I started to talk to people, I realised there were all these other industries, and actually when you started to add them up, there are absolutely loads of industries, which must be jam-packed with industries.
Yes.
And that's not so usual with most places. They're identified with one industry.
That's right, yeah.
Part of my practice as an artist when making pieces of work for particular places I do some research about the history and the geography and so forth, and I like to actually talk to as many people as possible. And I found with Hebburn that once you started to talk to the people, there was a great sense of pride in their community and their town, and all the achievements it had had in the past, and also a bit of a sense of loss, like Ron was saying, because these industries are no longer here. So it became quite obvious to me that I needed to produce a piece of work that allowed the community an involvement with it. So that's what sort of led me then to invite people like Ron to work with me to design the sequences that everybody would see. So really, I suppose what I've designed is the infrastructure, and the community have sort of put the bones on it, really. They're producing the displays.
When you work in shipyards, when you work in factories, everybody is so much together. There's that many people in these places, and you work very closely with one another. And as the years go on, I know your family, you know my family, then we know the guy next to us, and it just spreads. And everybody in Hebburn, a number of years ago, just knew everybody else. You didn't need the local paper to tell you when someone had passed away, because it was all done by word of mouth, because the town was so full of its own people, just because so many people worked in the place. Yeah.
Well, I suppose I wanted to produce a piece which was sort of like the way I usually produce pieces, so it doesn't really look like art at all. So it looks like a piece of the industry. I'm really pleased with the forms that the lights actually come out of, because when you get up close to them, they look as if they could have been sitting on the factory floor in BTEC Railroad. You know, they look like a piece of industrial kit, and the columns look industrial. So I was really pleased when we finally got the columns up and we got all the hardware on it. And I was looking at it with the cranes that are just behind you, and you could see it sort of with those cranes, and it didn't look out of place. It looked like part of that landscape. So I'm very pleased about that.
Yeah, that's good. Brilliant.
It's a piece of work that hopefully addresses 4 words that came out of doing a lot of research. So one of those words might be light, which was connected to the industries, the past industries of Hebburn. One would be innovation, because Hebburn was always at the cutting edge of industrial design. Regeneration, because Hebburn is going through a big regeneration as the industries move out and it changes. And celebration, because celebration is something that was always part of Heburn's heritage. I suppose the sort of legacy I would like is that because there is a facility for it to be turned on at any time that the community would like it to be turned on, independent of all its programming and sensors and so forth. So I hope that that's embraced by the community, and perhaps they start a festival of light, or it's used in a festival down here in the river park. So, you know, I think this is a fantastic, this is where the people of Hebburn should be, and I hope the legacy is that they keep on looking after the sculpture by using it, because I'm giving them this gift in that sense, because it's not mine anymore, it belongs to Hebburn. You know, they've created it really. I'm off, and it's theirs. So I hope they look after it, and I hope they're able to use this controller to actually turn it on for special events when they'd like to have a celebration.
It's ours to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.